There are signs that the red hot real estate market might finally be starting to cool. But what exactly does that mean for you if you've been thinking about buying or selling a home? Hi, this is Andrew with the S2 real estate team of eXp Realty. And I got to admit, it's really confusing out there right now. There is a lot of mixed signals. There's a lot of information, a lot of sensationalism, right? It's very, very difficult if you're have been in the real estate market or you own a home that you've been thinking of selling or you've been thinking of buying. Last week, this is kind of a follow-up to last week's video. Last week's video I put out, it was talking about should you buy now or wait until 2023 or even later? And I had some great comments and some feedback on that. Some people said, I'm going to wait. It's just not the right time. I'm going to wait. Others said, hey, if I could find the property I wanted, I'm not deterred. I would still buy now. And they're both great answers. The point I'm making here is that I never, in the information I put out, I'm trying to convince you one way or the other. I'm trying to bring you information so that you can make the best decision for you. And like I said, it's hard because there's a lot of misinformation and a lot of sensationalism and a lot of doom and a lot of gloom. And it's like, oh my gosh, the sky is falling. This is crashing. That's burning down. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. As I said last week, truth is nobody knows exactly what's going to happen. Certainly the predictions that were made about what would happen to the real estate market pre-COVID, right as COVID hit, those certainly weren't very accurate. The housing market didn't do anything like what they thought it was going to. So I want to bring up just a couple of points for you today to help try and make some sense of it all for you. So I'm going to share my screen. So this slide here I just brought up, this is just a quick screenshot I took of YouTube this morning, right? And these videos are everywhere. Don't buy, right? Boom, everything's going to crash. Housing market crash, red flag, why you should wait out the housing market. It's no wonder it's confusing. Who wouldn't it be confusing for? And that's why it's become very difficult for people to make a decision on what they should or shouldn't do. And again, it's a personal decision that needs to be made. But there are a few things that I want to point out. The leading indicators do show that the real estate market is starting to cool. That is a good thing. But please understand that cool and crash are not the same thing. There is no indication that a crash is coming. Anyone that says they know for sure that a crash is coming, I don't know where they're getting their information. There is nothing to indicate. It's a lot of different assumptions. Yes, inflation's going crazy. We know that, right? The Fed is now saying that they may not raise rates as aggressively as they previously indicated based upon what they're seeing right now, based on the fact that there is already slowing demand. You've also got mortgage rates that have jumped about 2% in the last month and a half. Major, major difference. That's taking some of the wind out of the sails of the real estate market. Right here, the first video that I have up on the screen says Zillow downgrades their housing market forecast. Very true. They did. Is that a red flag? Well, I don't know. They're still forecasting that home prices are going to rise nearly 15% in the next year. That's down from where they previously had, but that's certainly not going in the other direction. So what does it all mean? Well, as I've shared before, I watched the data pretty closely, right? And this week, for the first week since January, we did not see new listings increase the average price. Pricing held steady, which indicates that it may be turning just a little bit. And the amount of inventory coming onto the market continues to tick up a little bit sooner than we see in a normal year. And again, we put out market updates every single week. They're powered by the data of our friends over at Altos Research. And many of you have signed up for those reports. And if you haven't, I suggest you do. There's a link for them directly below. And the great thing about those reports is they can kind of give you an indication of what's going on. They share some of the leading indicators. As unlike traditional media outlets, this information is updated weekly. It's not 2 months ago, it's weekly. And here's what I mean. Here's what I want to share with you. So this is the market report as of today. You can see Monday, April 25th for Frisco, Texas. And there's two things I want to point out on here. And if you do nothing else, these are the only two things that I would watch for in wanting to know what's going on in the market. So right here, you can search for any city or zip code in the entire country. This right here is the market action index. It takes all of these different variables into account and gives you this speedometer, if you like, of how the market is doing. 30, a level of 30, is considered a balanced market. You can see we're redlining here in Frisco. We're pegged. We're at 100. The market is absolutely flying. Okay, there's not really many signs of a slowdown, at least here, but the leading indicators show us that it's coming. Here's what I mean. I want you to take just a look at this. Price decreased. 13% of the homes on the market this past week have had a price reduction. Why is that important? Well, and is 13% a good or a bad number? Well, first of all, understand that in most markets, somewhere around about 35%, maybe even as high as 40%, is the normal number of properties that you would see have a price reduction. Obviously, at 13% in Frisco, that's not a lot. Now, what this is telling us is it's trending up. Here's why that's important. As the market's been moving, many sellers, so if you're thinking of selling, keep this in mind, many sellers have been pricing their homes on where they think the market's heading. Well, now that interest rates have bumped up, right, buyers have taken a step back. They're pausing a little bit. And so with that in mind, those sellers suddenly think, oh my gosh, my home's been on the market 2 days and I didn't have 50 showings and received 15 offers. There must be a problem, right? Again, let's perspective. So you'll get those sellers a week in, they'll say, yeah, this isn't good. I need to get ahead of this. So they start cutting their price. The homes that are reducing their prices are the homes that were overpriced to begin with. That's a sign that things are settling down. It wasn't that long ago before it didn't matter almost what you put a home out there. The market was paying for it. And the market right now is saying not so fast. So those sellers are having to reduce price just a little bit in order for the house to move. It's still, instead of getting 15 offers, there may be 3 or 4. Okay. And this is going to vary from city to city across the country. That's why knowing the local information for you is critical. So here's another one. Here's Phoenix, Arizona. Again, 99 on the market action index. So the market's still flying. But look at this. Prices decreased is now up to 28%. That's substantially higher than it was not that long ago. As we keep working through here, Southern California, this is Temecula, California. Okay, price decreased. Look how the price decrease has increased, right? So the number of people decreasing their price continues to go up. They're now at 24%. Okay, and just like in the others, the inventory is starting to climb as well. Now, I also just randomly picked Charlotte. Okay, so Charlotte, North Carolina. Again, market action index is still at 95, still a very strong seller's market. Okay, but inventory is starting to trend up. And look at there, price decreased up to 22%. These were running in single digits for most of the country for quite a long time. So again, it's still in the, it's early signs. It's early signs. And there's nothing to indicate any type of a crash is coming. Again, there's a lot of unknowns. I realize that. But here's what it means for you. If you've been thinking of buying and have been on the fence, or you've been writing offers, and you've gotten frozen out, you haven't been able to get anything accepted, be patient. If you can still afford it based on the mortgage rates right now, it's coming, right? All of a sudden, you're going to find some of these sellers are a little bit more negotiable than they were. So you're going, new properties we've put up for sale recently have been demonstrating this. You're not seeing the overwhelming number of showings instantly, and not everything is going under contract right away. Days on market in everywhere across the country is starting to pick up. We're starting to lengthen out, I should say. So that's what you're seeing. So if you've been on the fence or you've been trying to buy, it may not be a bad time. You may find that you're able to get in on something that you would have lost out on just a month or so ago. If you've been thinking of selling, okay, market shifting. Okay, you're not going to be able to just throw a price out there, pie in the sky, and have people banging down your door and receive offers, that are way, way, way over. It's not happening quite as much, depending on area that you're in. Again, this is going to vary across the country. Right here in Frisco, we're still seeing properties sell 107 to 110% of list price. Still a very strong market, but you're not seeing quite as many offers. I expect that number will keep coming down. All right, so again, you need to make the decision that's best for you. Hopefully this information helps. Go ahead and click the link below. Sign up for one of these market reports for your area and keep a track on it. Watch that market activity or market action index and watch the number of price reductions. That's going to give you a good idea on where the market is heading. Again, and if you are in the market to buy and you haven't had your pre-approval updated, you haven't spoken to your lender in the last couple of months, you're going to want to do that. Remember, a 1% rise in mortgage rates decreases your purchasing power by approximately 10%. So if you were approved back in January, you may find that you're not approved for as much now as you were back then. So very important that you get that checked. And as always, if you have any additional questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can give us a call at 469-296-5230 or send us an email, contact@s2realestateteam.com.